All right, what's up, guys? Corey here with the Long Island Lacrosse Journal. We got Adam Sznitken, who's the Sayville girls head varsity lacrosse coach, on with us. Adam, how you doing, my man?
I'm good. Good. Doing well today, Corey. Yourself?
Yeah, we're doing okay. As we were talking about before we got on the air here, just interesting uncertain times. Just as this virus spreads, and just live action sports in general kind of came to a screeching halt, which is a little weird. But I guess for you and your program, how are you guys dealing with it and just kind of getting through the season?
It's definitely unique with what's going on in the world today. And, like you said before, where you're out on the lacrosse field for so many hours a day and just looking forward to the next, part of that day. And right now, everything is just at a complete standstill. And, I think we know that, sorry, this is my little guy here.
What's up, man?
Sports a lot of times has always been the thing that people look forward to in times of, need and, for not unfortunately, but, right now that's, kind of taken from us too. So, I've been in contact with my girls every day and just trying to everybody follow the rules and keeping our fingers crossed that we can get back on the field as soon as possible.
Yeah, well, there's definitely good in it too. Like as your son pops into the picture, like
Yeah.
it's cool. It's cool to be, spend some more time with family, especially during times when you're maybe out on the field or thinking about like game planning or scouting. You get to kind of like take a step back and do some things maybe you haven't done before. Do you find yourself in that same spot?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's the way that anybody wanted it to come about, but I've been a positive person, pretty much my whole life. So you're right. I look at it and say, my wife and I are both teachers, so we joke around with our kids all day that we're your teachers now at home, and we run school, and I take my kids outside and we play soccer, and I've been calling it gym class, and you take every minute for what it's worth, and obviously some of the circumstances that have surrounded my team lately, you really take in the fact that you got to live your life, every day and do as much as you can and always be there for family when you need. So, it's definitely nice. It's a lot of fun being with them all day. Again, not the way we wanted, but I'm going to soak it all in.
How do your kids respond to like you and your wife who are both teachers, just to you guys just trying to like put your teacher hat on as opposed to like your parent hat on?
Yeah, they're good. I mean, my kids are little. They're 6, 4, and 2. So, and my wife is awesome. She does it where it's like so much fun for them to be around. The other day we were doing stuff with Skittles, so they knew once they finished it, they would get to eat the Skittles. My wife is definitely awesome doing all that stuff with the kids. So, they're good. And right now they still like school and they like learning. And it's even cool just for us to put that kind of different hat on. Not just doing homework with them, but like teaching them stuff during the day. It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's interesting. What now? What do you teach full time? And are you in the district? Are you in Sayville?
Yeah, I'm at Sayville High School. I've been a math teacher there for 16 years, so I've been in the district, and I get to see my girls all day long, which is awesome from my lacrosse team. Yeah.
Yeah, that's beneficial. And then you said 8 years ago you took over the program. Want to talk about how
Yep.
things have kind of evolved since you took over?
Yeah, it's been fun. Like when I first started coaching as an assistant, I always thought it would, turn into something. I was hoping for one day to get a chance to maybe lead a program. The guy that I worked with was awesome, Coach Jensen, who's actually now my JV coach, which is kind of funny. But, he had all these awesome things that he did, and you always have your own ideas and you want to put your own stamp on the program. So when I took over, I didn't really change much because he really had a nice plan in place. But obviously the lacrosse world is, taken a severe boom since 8 years ago when I took over. Girls are playing all year round. The level has just increased from, second graders all the way up to eighth graders, all the way up to the high school kids, and the talent level has just increased. So it's been good. And, Sayville, we've been fortunate. Sometimes in high school you get the ups and downs of, talent level coming through, but we've had, very, very fortunate to have a good group of girls almost every year, a good group of kids. When I took over, we were, lucky enough and fortunate enough, we won the counties in 2014. And then we were on a little downswing. But again, I graduated like 13 kids that were in that 2015 class that really was the glue of those first couple of years when I took over. And, now as we were talking before, we're back to being, on the upswing. We made the playoffs again last year. We got a lot of young kids that are really coming along nicely. every coach will tell you this. I'm in love with my team. I love every kid on it. I love the group that they've become. The family atmosphere just takes us from being what I think is a good team and hopes of being a much better team. We were really looking forward this year to, seeing, where we might end up and building off last year.
Yeah, well, like I think over the last few years, you guys are Suffolk Class C, right?
Yeah, we're in C now.
So C, like in our opinion, it's been really one of the most competitive conferences
It's crazy.
it's nuts. Like how many good you got Sinai and Shoreham and
Right.
I mean the list
And
goes on.
I don't want to take anything away from the other classes because there's good teams everywhere. But,
Yeah.
8 years ago, you had teams, any good team was making playoffs. And now you've got good teams that might not even make the playoffs,
Yep.
which is crazy to think.
Yeah, it's wild, but it's cool. I mean, and also I don't know if people realize how good like you guys are right now, and like over the next 2 years, like you guys are going to be in the mix again, which is cool to see. Do you feel as though you see some similarities maybe in some of the classes and girls that are becoming upperclassmen on your team compared to like that team that won that county championship back in 2014?
Yeah, back in 2014, we had a lot of juniors at that time mixed in with a couple good seniors. And, the older kids really were the glue. And obviously last year I was considered very young with a lot of the kids on my team that were in ninth grade and 10th grade. Now they're in 10th and 11th. I still do have an awesome group of seniors that you always need, leadership. And that is, something that can't be taught on the field that helps keep a team together.
Sure.
But you're right. Like we definitely were looking forward to this year and still fingers crossed that we're going to be able to get out there and really
Yeah.
show kind of, where we've come from and, what we could be. And, I'm really excited for not only this year, again, hoping to get back out, but definitely the next few years because we've got a lot of kids in Sayville that are really playing. The youth organization is awesome. We've got a great relationship going on with them, with the high school girls. And there's just a lot of kids in our town that, like to play lacrosse. So it's exciting. It's exciting to know that this year and next year and the few years, moving forward, there's definitely a lot of kids that not only have talent, but want to be a part of, what we're building here.
Yeah, no doubt. And I hope, hopefully you guys get, some sort of season this year. But either way, you're in good shape in years to come, which is awesome.
Yeah.
One thing we definitely wanted to bring up, which is, really sad and unfortunate news, but I think with that, we just want to share the person that Maddie was, who was an alumni of your program, who unfortunately passed away. Do you just want to talk a little bit about her and who she was and why she's so important to the Sayville like girls lacrosse program as a whole?
Yeah, she was a special kid, and don't mind me if I get choked up a little because it's still, kind of new, and and not being able to be around my team right now, going through this, I think is also, the hardest part. But you don't get many kids like her. I do want to give credit to her and her two co-captains from last year who really took what I told them in the beginning before the season started to build a family and build, a really good atmosphere. And I never could have imagined, what the three of them did and specifically what Maddie did on her own. I asked my girls the other day, knowing that, we were going to talk, I asked them to send me some stories about her, maybe things that I didn't know.
Mm-hmm.
And the stories that are coming in are they're just amazing. Like she really was a glue that held kids together. She put her arms around ninth grade girls that made a mistake at tryouts.
Wow.
I found out later that she texted them earlier this year before tryouts. I don't even know if she was really friends with them. I don't even know how she even got their phone number. But that's just the type of kid she was. You ask anybody that knew her from any point in her life to, her family's boating friends, the girls on the volleyball team, the girls on the lacrosse team, and even just her friends that didn't play sports with her. And she was the light in the room, everywhere she went. Quick story last year, we were playing a game and Erin Schaefer, one of my, really good 10th graders, already had a yellow card and the ref was getting ready to give another yellow card. And I don't know if the ref really knew who actually committed the foul.
Right.
And Maddie, as senior captain, looked at Erin and just said, "I got you." And she took the yellow card for Erin because she knew that Erin would have been, ejected from the game with 2 yellow cards.
Wow.
Walked off the field, sat there for 2 minutes, went back on. I kind of knew about it because, Erin had told me that game, but, you forget about these things. And, those little things that she did. And, if you ask any kid on my team and any girl on the volleyball team, they'll tell you the same thing. She was texting kids all day long. But every time she came back from school over the summer, she would take all the girls to Moe's.
Oh,
I just, we could sit here for an hour and I still wouldn't have enough time to tell you, the amazing things that this kid did. And she lived life to the absolute fullest. And, she really made me become a better person and a better coach. And, it's so sad. I feel horrible for, all the girls that were friends with her and, obviously her family and the Sayville community. It's been rough, but, I see kind of the turnarounds. I've seen a couple kids talking and, the smiles are coming back. And now you get to, kind of tell the story about, what an amazing kid that, she was.
yeah.
And that doesn't even discuss just her as a solid defender on my lacrosse team. That was the glue of the four that, played that position.
Yeah, I mean that story you told about Erin is crazy because, obviously Maddie was a really solid player. She went off and played collegiately and was a big part of the team. But, Erin, she's a superstar, so she's someone that I'm sure Maddie realized was also super important to the success of your team on the field. And for her to take a card for her and just kind of just put the team in front of her, which I'm sure she did on so many occasions that you probably don't have stories about because she just did them because that's who she was.
Yep.
It's a pretty amazing kind of that short story is definitely I think speaks volumes of just kind of who she was as a person, which is great.
And she always had the team first. And to be honest, yes, obviously Erin Schaefer is an amazing player, but I would bet you at least $100 to $1,000 that she would have done it for any kid just so they didn't have to sit out the rest of the game.
Yeah.
But you're right. She knew everything that was going on.
Right.
I tell stories all the time that last year was one of the first years where I never really sort of had to yell at the team to pick it up or, those coaching things that you do during season in practice, because I would say 20 to 25 times she would read my face, look over at me and just give me this. And then I would say, okay, Maddie. And she would pull them in for a little captain meeting.
Mm-hmm.
And away we went and they were all, back to being good again. And, she got it all. She knew everything that was going on for the good, and really pulled the kids together. And the kids are all saying she's my captain, that's the story going around.
Yeah.
And she'll forever be our captain, 100%.
Yeah, it's really sad. And I think the way to get through it, obviously, like you said, you start sharing stories, which is amazing, and find other ways to honor her. We're working at the LALJ to find a way to kind of remember her year to year. And, we're kind of thinking of putting an award in her name, just an award that embodies just kind of that person. Because a lot of times that glue type player that has those leadership qualities are definitely undervalued on teams. So I think promoting a player each year in honor of her is a nice way to, start, at least on our end. But there's definitely, there's so many more possibilities of what we can do, and hopefully we can work together to do some great things.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that because, we've already started talking here at Sayville between the volleyball program and lacrosse program, doing something again, in her honor. Last year she actually won what's called the Maddies Passing Award at Sayville, which is for the best athlete in the school.
Wow.
Which is, awesome. And again, not to downplay any of her athletic ability, but I think what made her special as an athlete was all those extra little things. So, if you guys are willing to do something like that, I just, it touches my heart. And I know, she would be super psyched to have that. She'd probably hate it if it was her name because, she wouldn't want that recognition. But, for somebody else to get recognized that, like you said, sometimes maybe we forget those types of kids. That would be awesome. It just speaks to the type of kid she is.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think, we would want to roll something out that she would be happy to know that hey, this is something that they're not just doing for me, but they're doing to share who I was and the most, the most amazing things about her personality and who she was. So that's really the goal. But again, it's really tough. But anyway, it's nice to see Maddie is an example of just the great players that have come through your program, the great players that are coming through the program. I think one thing with our media channel we're trying to do is just share the up and coming programs. So a lot of times there's a lot of a lot of hard work that goes, especially these days, that high school coaches put into building programs that, 15 years ago, you probably even know this, as a teacher coach then, like you didn't put as much time in then, right? Like kids are playing more
Not even
sports,
close.
right?
Not even close. It's amazing, what everybody's doing, every team, like you said, every coach, the amount of time that goes in now is, it's crazy, but it's good. And you got to like it.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, listen, we appreciate, guys like you that invest your time and energy and build up the programs. We always appreciate just getting a chance to watch these amazing girls on the island, and there's so many of them. There's so many great programs. Like we literally sometimes are conflicted knowing where to cover and where to go, because there's on one given day there's so much great lacrosse out there.
A
So
lot of
yeah, hopefully we get a chance to see you guys this year. But if not, we'll continue to track and promote Sayville girls lacrosse.
That'd be awesome. We'd love that.
All right, awesome. Well, Adam, we really appreciate your time, man. You can find this this interview will be on our YouTube channel, and we're also going to share it through the LI Lax Journal Instagram page.
Awesome. I really appreciate you taking the time to talk to me today, Corey.
Yeah, you got it, Adam. We'll enjoy time with your family, and we'll connect again soon. Okay.
All right. Thanks again. Have a good one.
All right, man. Take care.